There are some reports, there's some intel that indicates that, at least one of the Kabul suicide bombings could have been prevented, but unfortunately was
yes. Yeah. So I just want to be really, really clear with you guys so that you all know exactly what's going on. So I'm going to preface this with the statement that this is a report. It hasn't been confirmed. However, I felt, and we all felt kind of during our meeting today, that this was something that was worth discussing.
Yes.
And so this is also really damning for the Biden administration if it turns out to be true eventually. So this is a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for the Western Hemisphere Affairs, Roger Pardo-Morar, and he went on air on this television station and basically said that the U.S. had knowledge of the man who went to bomb these people and supposedly had a drone tracing him and could have taken the shot. And even though they had the shot on this guy, it was denied to take him down, which is crazy. So this is what he said. He said, "What is being said by the people who were involved in this is that the Department of Defense already knew who the bomber was and when the Kabul attack would happen, and that a Predator drone had a lock on him, okay? And they refused to grant permission to fire upon that bomber." So this is what he's saying on this news source. And again, I don't know where he's getting this from, but it's just the fact of the matter is that if this is legitimate, it just shows what America is doing on the world stage.
Right. Yeah. And, even if it's not necessarily legitimate, it's at this point, how are we supposed to trust the Biden administration?
Yeah.
After all they've done, after all the obfuscating and all the lies and the mistruths, it's just, we can't trust them at this point.
Exactly. And Roger himself goes on to kind of highlight that. He said, permission was requested, and it was denied permission to shoot this guy. Why? Because we are in the process of negotiating with the Taliban, who aren't even in control of their own government or their own people. And so how are we as Americans sitting back at home supposed to trust the idea that this wasn't legit? Because Fox News reporter Jennifer Griffin disputed these claims on Twitter and said, the problem with this report is that it is not true. Spoke to multiple senior leaders today in a chain of command, and I am told on authority that this did not happen. On record from Jen McKenzie Spock's Captain Bill Urban, this is not true. It never happened. And again, as our writer pointed out, Kip Jones, he said she's quoting the Pentagon, but the Pentagon is the one responsible for the mess. So if you already know you're facing a media disaster, this would just be icing on the cake, and it would make sense to bury it.
Yeah, I'll say this, whether a report's true, not true, I'm pretty sure that there might have been at least some degree of information that the U.S. government had. I don't know that, but if I was hearing this report, this is just my initial thoughts on this, is the people that were killed in that suicide bombing, the service members, they were all right around our age.
Yeah.
And if I'm a family member of one of those service members right now, hearing this report, I'd be pretty upset right now. And I'd also be pretty upset if I was a friend or family member of one of the nearly 200 Afghans that were killed, if I knew there was a way that this could have been stopped.